July, July, July. Feels good to have made it through the first 2 months, I guess, May and June, but still feels like there's pretty much infinite amounts to go. At this point, though, was feeling pretty full of myself, honestly. Had a lot of metal going, was feeling righteous, gonna get some sand going, some bony soil, maybe find some more stuff for some lanterns. Then nearly died. Almost had my head taken off by lightning, as you could see. It scared the shit out of me, or just scared the crap out of me, and I honestly was quite frazzled for a couple seconds. But beyond the close encounters with the lightning, nothing too crazy to start off the new month of July, month 3, if you will. Really just kind of going through the same motions, going through some bony soil, and then trying to figure out what else needs to happen in order to advance us within the game. Somehow ended up back within the caves. Not sure why I keep doing this to myself, but really just got to keep prospecting and try to get all the different ores that I need. Naturally, when you're within the Underdark, though, you find some baddies. So I had to fight my way through quite a lot of them. One of the bonuses is sometimes the AI isn't necessarily great at attacking you, and other times it's better. One thing I found is these surface shivers are always quite deadly. But thankfully I was able to best just about everything they threw at me. Although, after a while, even a bunch of small creatures can wear you down, especially when they're dropping from the heavens above. With that in mind, I ran. I didn't want to die, at least not yet. So I took refuge, got some healing done, and then decided to go back in and finish what I had started. After going through and continuing to conquer my greatest fears regarding many of the enemies, I continued the actual mission, and that is to obtain resources and to somehow get ourselves through the actual missions and storyline of this game. I love the survival, but I feel like I just need to make sure I'm actually doing the purpose of the game too. You know what I mean? The eternal quest for mining. Grabbing some bismuth, grabbing everything I need for whatever type of bronze I could make, even though I'm going to need the tin bronze at the end of the day. Then took my bountiful resources back home and continued some of the improvements to the base, like digging out the trenches along the fence. Once that was through, I took another look down in the cave. Always kind of sketchy in the cave below the home, but I found there to be quite a lot of resources there. So I continuously go down, clear it out, and try to grab what I can. The basement cave provides yet again, this time in the form of zinc. Just when I thought the getting was getting good, we went ahead and got a little better. Found some tin down here, which will actually help us progress with the game. I also did a little bit more improvements to the overall structure, like finally adding gates I could walk through, because I've just kind of been lazily nerd pulling over the fences, which is a little silly. Another day within vintage being ended with a bit of smelting. The only thing better is sorting the bony soil, really. A new day upon me, which means another cave is yet to be explored. Down within the bottoms, slayed a few creatures, found some saltpeter, and also continued my hunt for more ore. Within the depths, I found a cool translocator area. Feels like I'm finding a lot of these, but not nearly enough gears to actually do anything with them. Eventually, though, we'll get there. Upon returning back to the home, went ahead and did some farming. Gotta make sure I'm doing the upkeep and pulling the resources out of the ground as they're becoming fully grown. This trader near my base is pretty nice. Keeps paying me for peat, which is pretty awesome. Finally. replacing these dastardly hand baskets with bigger bags, and then getting right into the meat and potatoes of this game, sorting through bony soil. Nothing like a little ASMR sizzle. Call me McForgus Gorge? George? There's something there. I'll work on it. Yeah, listen to that baby hiss. That's what it's all about. Went ahead and continued to gather food, kind of a never-ending ordeal to make sure I don't starve to death and die, and also explored some ruins while I was out and about. Just found a single beanade in there. Not particularly helpful, but it'll do. Back down in the caves, and well, what do we have here if not a little bit more zinc? We'll take whatever we can get in the search for bronze. Kind of crazy, just prospecting around here, and decided to prospect into this lava chute because I figured it'd be kind of easy to like dig down into. Didn't really see anything or notice anything. Saw the white rock and was like, all right, cool, great, more chalk rock, just what I need. And then I thought about it, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, let me go back. It kind of looked like the white rock I need, that good white rock. And lo and behold, it was. Finally found halite on this run. What a blessing. Went ahead and started getting some of the beekeeping stuff set up, and then also grabbed some quartz and some other resources I needed. Accidentally mined into a cave I didn't want to be in though, so quickly got out of that and went back home to start some smelting up for the evening. You know I can't let you get away without hearing that sweet, sweet hiss. Farming, farming, farming. One day I'll have enough of what I need. Oh. Found some fire clay and this weird anthracite stuff. Decided to get some and then went back home and did some fruit pressing. Foot pressing? Foot pressing? That's a different website. Fruit pressing for vintage, though. You know, the food press almost has a slightly satisfying hiss, kind of like pouring the metal. Maybe this is another element to the ASMR I can provide to you all. Back in the forge. McForgus Gorge. George here. Fuck! Goes without saying. You know, if you know me and anything about me in vintage so far, it's that I seem to attract bears. And while running away from one bear, ran into another bear. So I decided to stake my fight, duke it out, see what I could do to survive. Although, not very successfully, unfortunately. As you'll soon find, there's a reason why bears are very strong, and why they're very scary, and why I'm not so scary, and why I'm not so strong. Unfortunately, the bear won. With great defeat, I ran back, avoiding both bears that were camping my body, and grabbed my things. After reclaiming what shred of dignity I had left after getting killed by the bear, I went down to the mines and started to accumulate more resources again. It's a little safer down here, some days. As the monsters lay siege to my home, I will make art with clay. Not art, realistically. Trying to make the oven so I can cook some pies. As you can see, the oven successfully completed. A little bit of exploring, a little bit of, you know, Monica by my side, a little bit of Rita, a little bit of vase breakage is all I need. There's a Mamba number 5 parody within there somewhere. I can work on it. Continuing the mining. Never really ends. Maybe one day I'll feel complete. Gathering some more berries. Pre-update so the berries aren't super painful to gather and I get to steal all these delicious bushes. Thankful for that. Clay. Gonna need a lot of clay in order to remake this village with the stones. Just gonna have to keep gathering. My bees are ready. Yes! As the month starts to wind down, the bony soil is what calms my troubled mind at night. Although sometimes while doing the bony soil search, every now and again you can find something pretty cool. Sometimes there's temporal gears, sometimes there's ingredients. Every now and again, though, you get a little bit of drip, and you gotta be thankful for the drip. Got a nice bronze armlet. Not amulet, armlet. Another day, another cave, another temporal teleporter. Another portal. Well, everybody, that finishes us up for month 3, the month of July, within our first year. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or tips, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments, and feel free to drop a subscription or a like. Greatly appreciate it. Catch you on the flip side.